What's up, YouTube? It's Fizz. What's going on, snappers? Subscribe to my channel. About to be writing a book soon called Life's a Ride. Wow, this fucking sky is on bright. It's not even that bright though. I don't even got a filter or setting on, not that I know of. But anyways, subscribe to the channel. This ain't my only video. I have other exclusive content. You can check that out. Also, you go on my channel, I have a bunch of other videos. So definitely check those out. A lot about health and witness, truth. Also, me busting myths and conspiracies. If you have any video requests, let me know. In today's topic, I kind of was just thinking about it. And I'm just going off the top, to be honest. But, literally. But I always do. But this more so hit me instantly. I just want to say, when one part of your body is not working, the rest isn't working. It's a holistic approach. And that's why, allopathic medicine doesn't work. And a lot of traditional medicines, don't work. I don't want to say traditional, but a lot of people always attack the symptoms and they're never looking at the body as a whole approach, a holistic approach. Even beyond that, there's energy that you give off. There's a whole shield of energy, a whole aura that you have, all about those waves. Your body is an antenna. So basically, if you go to the doctor, I'm sure in the West, you go to the doctor and you tell them oh, my throat hurts. Well, they don't you just tell them that they're not looking at how your eyes look, your overall, how is your posture, how's what kind of vibes are you giving off, what kind of energy do you have, how are your emotions. They just, tell me what's wrong and we're gonna try to doctor you up and kill the symptom. The symptom is a result from something else. Most of the time. I'm gonna do a video on that. Loud ass vehicles sounding so loud. But anyways, not the point of this. You go to the doctor, especially in allopathic Western modernized medicine, they're not, if I was to look at somebody, I'd look at how they walk. Definitely how they walk. How is their structure? Are they, how are they holding up? I would look at their tongue. I would look at their teeth. I would look at their eyes. Basically, I'd be able to tell from their vibrancy and their energy and how they, are treating themselves. That you could say that's my gift or whatever. I'm not gonna boast about it, but I know everyone doesn't see that way and feel that way. It's called being alive. And that's the problem with the medicine, is they're just not looking at, sorry for the noise, I'm looking on a main drag, but I kind of wanted to go this way. They're not looking at the whole body, they're just hitting the one thing. And that's why I'm looking at everything when I go. So when there's one part, there's a problem with the whole thing. And that's what a problem with a lot of doctors and practitioners. They're just not looking at the whole picture, and they're taught completely something else. They're taught something out of a textbook from the medical industry that's just a bunch of bogus that really has nothing to do with reality at all. A bunch of scientific stuff, info terms that don't mean anything. And it's just so bizarre. Like, these people aren't even going to heal you. They're just mostly going to mask your symptoms, and they're never going to actually treat you. You know, you're going to come up with more symptoms, or you know, you're just never going to feel better, or they're just going to keep you on this cycle of drugs, you know. They don't really care about you. Your health matters to anybody, and they make a fortune off of negativity, fear, anxiety, health. That's why they can control you, and it sets you in the cycle. And it's messed up, because if everybody was healthy, the world would be a completely different place. But the whole reality in our existence, if you want to even base it to survival, we could say that. But under a government's discrepancy and profit, and especially economically, and a capitalist-based system, it doesn't matter. Your whole reality, the whole matrix, is based off your health. And I would never stress this enough, because some people just don't know. Some people claim they know and just go against themselves, or just they never experienced it. Damn, the sky is just so bright. Like, I swear it's not this bright over. It's just, I don't know. There we go. That's what the sky actually looks like. But it even looks like it's just like on such a high frequency right now, I swear. Anyways, yeah, like, they don't want you to live. That's like the whole thing, you know. It's funny, because I'm reading a book, and talks about living, you know, being alive, feeling an experience. No words can describe it. Words have very little to do with life itself. That's why some people don't speak. And that's why animals they're not always making noises. I mean, some make more, of course. But they don't really need to, because they're just feeling and they're experiencing, which is awesome. And they're trying to make you numb with the fluoride, the chemicals, your nervous system. And I don't like getting into this, because it just throws people off more, and it's not really needed. Because your nervous system connects you to your world, your feeling. Once you can't feel, then you're losing touch of reality and life. We have senses we're meant to feel. We have energies, you know. And that's the key to life, and they're just trying to make you numb. That's another reason why I recommend living food. If you get it. Some people acknowledge it, but they'll never understand. You have to experience it. Like, there's understand, like, yeah, if something small, like, you might not want to try something, but like eating raw foods is just a whole different experience. Being alive, if you don't even want to eat raw foods, that's fine, but do you feel alive every day? Do you feel like, you know, you have energy just serpenting through you, coming in waves? You know, like, you don't even need to sleep. You got as much energy as you want. That's called being alive, and doing what makes you feel alive. But don't become numb. Don't become a system of uselessness or slavery. Do something that matters to you. Do what matters most. So, snappers, the point of this video was, when one part of your body is not working right, the rest is not working right. So, you can blame the one part. Maybe it is that part that maybe needs tackled, but usually it's a food problem for the most part. And like I said, like when one part is not working, like just imagine something in your truck not working, like the battery goes out. Well, then you can't drive it. Just imagine if you didn't have the keyhole for the battery, then you can't drive it. Like if you didn't have the actual key, of course you could play around with it, but some you need the key, you know. Let's put that to the side. If a tire is flat, you can't drive it. It even goes as far as like if you don't have a license plate, depending where, of course you can drive it, I guess. But if something is not working right in your engine, you know, fucking you're out of oil, you can't drive it. You're out of gas, you can't drive it. It's just like, if to put a comparison, when one part's not working, the whole system's not working, because its system works as a whole. And I remember we always used to talk about this when I took a psychology class. Philosophy class, like an intro to it, I think it was. And we always used to talk about, like, is it the single thing that makes like the living, or is it the whole organism that's living? Is it just the cell, or is it all the cells together? Because they work as a team in unity, and that can be discussed at greater lengths, of course, but obviously I think it's the system that really you know, gets everything going and how things flow. And this is what again, when one part's not working, all of it's not working. It's okay. I don't want you to be frightened or feel defeated, but you know, just like when you're sick, you're not going to be at your best performance. When this is what I'm coming here to teach or say, when one thing's not working, such as, you know, like you could be sick, or, you know, I don't know, you could be out missing some vitamins, missing something in your diet. You could be, you know, maybe there's an emotional affair and your body's not, you know, your body's not connected, so you feel out of touch. So what does this mean? You know, like you're just not your best performance because everything's not together. It's everything as a whole. Once you get everything, you know, whatever's missing in your life together, then it all comes completed, you know. Everything in terms, in speaking terms, terminology, talking about life, lifestyle, that's how it all comes together. Once you know, do what you actually want to do, which can be whatever, doesn't have to be specific one thing. But let's say you want a job as like a mechanic. You got this job as a mechanic working on airplanes, and you know, like, then you meet the people because you're doing what you love, and then nothing's gonna bring you down. And then you meet more people that are like-minded just because you're doing you. Then everything has a natural flow and rhythm and coincidences. I don't like talking about it because it's so underestimated and underrated when you actually talk about it, to whereas you just have to like feel, be in that experience. It's like waves, like you'll know when there's like stop, like a mechanic again working on an airplane, and like he's getting to that point, he's edgy, you know, he didn't eat anything, he's kind of getting kind of hungry, so he know, like when he just has that thought, it's like, okay, it's not even gonna have a thought. He's just gonna simultaneously stop, because he knows, like, I need to move on. You know what I mean? You can't freaking he can't work on that plane all day. Not to say he couldn't, but there's waves of different energies coming in, and emotions and feelings that he's gonna have to attain to, such as, you know, he might need a rest, a nap, or for what I was speaking about, he might need to eat something. He might need that break. You know, your life needs and necessities are gonna have to come into play sooner or later. That mechanic that's working on an airplane, he might just get tired of working on an airplane, but when he tries to fight himself and be like, oh no, I can go longer, I can do more, you know, I don't know, maybe reach a deadline, then he's just pushing himself, like he's losing his creativity, his performance and productivity's down the drain. You know, he's fighting hunger, he's resisting what his body was intuitively saying to him. And this is where I really wanted to get at in the video. And it's just if you feel what I'm saying, because I'm sure you get in those waves, and once your health is like there, you know, you're on point with everything, like, you know how much to eat, you know, I'm not saying everything's planned, but it's more so everything happens simultaneously. You're like almost like an animal, and you're just like, you know, like, okay, it's time to stop right now. You don't even, you might say it or think it, but you just like, okay, it's time to go, you know, time to stop. It's just like, I don't even want to say you think it, but it just happens. And then once you get into that rhythm and that cycle, because you develop a cycle, then everything just happens. And that's the best part about it. Once you get into that, and your health pertains a lot to that, when to stop, what to say, because everything will just flow, and you won't be afraid of anything and having anxiety or anxious. So to reach that state, the cycles, and if you've never had this experience, I don't know, I would maybe listen to some other videos or search for that experience, you know. You probably had glimpses of it. That's when you're doing real good, but you want it to keep going on, like, because that's the way to life, like, win the rest, you know. And everything just happens perfectly. Not saying it's a perfect world or humans are perfect, but you're just like so focused, and like, you know, it's like, and I talk about this in some of my other videos, just like working too hard and exercise in my other videos. But as the mechanic, just saying, like, let's just say, I'm never really focused on like what's in the picture or how I'm holding it. I'm just kind of like throwing it, like, just to make sure, because I'm not really trying to get the views, like the actual like views of what's in the picture in the video. I'm more so trying to get the volume of info and the rawness and the truth, more so than whatever is in the background or whatever, and how I look. Care less. But it is sometimes cool to look around. The sky is definitely way too bright because it's about to be nighttime. Let's see, that's what the sky actually looks like. It's actually even a little dark. I swear it's darker than that. But anyways, the mechanic who works too hard and he's just pushing himself, it's gonna get strenuous, and that's not, you know what I mean? You never want to actually, unless you absolutely have to, go all out, because if you go all out, then what else do you have? And don't underestimate what I'm saying here. Like I don't want to bring up exercise, but the mechanic who's just working too hard, like he's just on that groove, and he's just like, you know, he's taking his time, but the time and the pace that he's good at and feels he can do it. He's not being lazy. He's not even he's comfortable. He's just in the zone, you know, just in there. He has no thoughts on his head and he's just cruising along, and it's easy. Time doesn't exist. And he's not, if he just pretend like he's moving like a wrench or something, he's using all his strength, and he keeps going, and like it's draining him, and he keeps going and pushing it. And there's a time where his body said stop, but he just kept pushing it. Now it's just gonna like ruin that whole rhythm, you know. He pushed it, he didn't listen to his bodily response. And that's the best part, is listening to yourself, your body, and that inner voice, your spirit, your intuition. Yeah, so don't stress it too much. Know when to stop. I know we hit a couple topics like taking break and rest, you know, taking a nap, you wake up rejuvenated, you know. Don't try to fight that sleep. If you had to sleep, take it. I mean, you're just hurt, you're doing more damage than good. Like, you're gonna keep pushing yourself, you're gonna slow down the whole pace, the whole cognitive, whole productivity, everything's just gonna start burning up. You're gonna start using your resources. And then let's say you pushed on for 5 hours, but you slowed down so much and you took so less productivity. The person who slept for 3 hours or whatever he slept for took his nap, you know, rested. Maybe he didn't even nap, he just rested completely. He's rejuvenated. And what you did in 5 hours, he did an hour. Now he has a whole nother hour to spare doing whatever, you know. Or maybe he just has so much more energy now, can go on, whereas you're drowning yourself out in all drowsiness and beating yourself to the bricks. So in essence, or essentially, take a break and a rest. I like how this video came through, and the waves we rode. Wow. Excellent video. So it's Fizzle, coming out with some new music here soon. Also writing a book called Life's a Ride. Stay tuned for that. Check out some of my other videos on YouTube if you're interested about a bunch of things. Leave a comment below, because I'd love to hear your experience, your tall tale. I love to make community and hear your expression, your expressiveness. Tell your tall tale or your story. Give me a thumbs up if you're going to take a break and listen to your body when you need it. Give me a thumbs down if you're going to push yourself to the ground and be exhausted, and you're going to be the hare versus the tortoise, and you're going to lose the race. Oh well, everyone, have a fantastic day. I love everyone. Stop the discrimination, the hatred, and the judgment. See things as they are. And make sure you feel good. And if you're not, question why you don't. And question why you do things and what you actually want to do, to find out who you truly are. Because a lot of people can say mumbo jumbo and quotes and a bunch of stuff, but is it registering with you? Are you recognizing it? And this is the best way to express it that I can. So if you have any video requests, you want me to hit any topics or discussions, debates, let me know. I'd actually be real interested. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I appreciate it. A bunch of videos, different lengths. Just got this iPhone 6s. Honestly, it's rolling. The quality is excellent. I mean, the one that faces me is a little less than as if I was like pointing it somewhere, flipping it. But maybe I could do that for a video, but then I wouldn't see me on it. That's interesting. Anyways, peace out, young snappers.